Have you ever really stopped to think about how weird it is that we grab a stranger's hand and just shake it? Honestly, it's one of those things we do every single day without a second thought. But if you dig into the why behind it, the whole thing gets pretty intense and, frankly, a little bit strange. It's not just some polite habit we picked up. It's actually a mix of ancient survival tactics, social rebellion, and some really weird biological instincts that we still haven't shaken off. Think back to ancient Greece. Back then, a handshake wasn't a nice to meet you kind of thing. It was more like a please don't kill me kind of thing. Most people were right-handed, and that's the hand you'd use to pull a dagger. So, when two people met, they'd reach out with their right hands to show they weren't holding a weapon. It was basically a peace treaty in the form of a gesture. And the actual shaking part? That wasn't for style. They did that to make sure that if you had a small blade hidden up your sleeve, the motion would shake it loose and drop it on the ground. It was a literal security check. The Romans took it even further. They wouldn't just grab your palm, they'd grab your entire forearm. They wanted to feel for any hidden knives tucked under your wristbands or up your tunic. So, the next time you're at a business meeting, just remember that the guy across from you is technically performing a Roman weapon inspection. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. There's this study from the Weizmann Institute that suggests we're doing a lot more than just being polite. It turns out that after we shake hands with someone, we almost always, completely subconsciously, bring our hand near our face to sniff it. I know it sounds gross, right? But we do it without even realizing. We're actually checking for chemical signals or pheromones. Even though we think we're these highly evolved, logical humans, our brains are still acting like animals, trying to pick up data on the other person's health or even their mood through their scent. It's like a secret biological background check happening right under our noses. So, how did this go from a weapon check to the universal standard for hello? You can actually thank a group called the Quakers for that. Back in the 1700s, society was incredibly stiff. You had to bow or tip your hat or do these elaborate gestures that basically showed who was above whom. The Quakers were like, nah, we're not doing that. They believed everyone was equal, so they pushed the handshake as a social equalizer. It was their way of saying that no one is better than anyone else. It was a pretty radical move at the time, a silent protest against the class system, and it eventually caught on so well that bowing just kind of faded away. Of course, the rules change depending on where you are. If you're in Russia, for instance, you better be careful where you stand. Shaking hands across a doorway is considered a massive no-no. They believe it brings bad luck or starts a huge fight, so you always have to step all the way inside before reaching out. And the timing is a whole other thing. In some African cultures, a handshake can last for several minutes while you chat, and that's a sign of huge respect. But in the West, if you hold on for more than 3 seconds, it immediately starts getting awkward. And have you ever wondered why we almost always use the right hand? Part of it is just math. About 90% of people are right-handed, so it just became the default. But it's also deeply rooted in tradition and religion. In so many cultures, from Islam to Christianity, the right hand is the one used for clean tasks, blessings, and honor, while the left hand was usually for, well, less glamorous things. Because of that, the right hand became the standard for everything from eating to swearing an oath. Even if you're a lefty, you've probably spent your whole life adapting to this right-handed world without even thinking about it. It's crazy how much history is packed into one simple 3-second movement, isn't it? From ancient soldiers to social rebels, every time you shake a hand, you're basically repeating a ritual that's thousands of years old.